Welcome to the party, pal. Your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos back with you once again. I hope you're well. Sending lots of love your way. Today is the day we've all been waiting for. I know I have. You know I love a good rant. And oh boy, I'm ready to talk the worst movies of 2021. Now, these could be boutique labels, theatrical movies, anything, streaming movies. There are no limits and no caps. I'm just going to put together a list of my least favorite films, and I'm gonna rant. And you know I love to rant, so I hope you'll stick around, because if you do, a little birdie told me you get 20% smarter if you watch the whole video. There's only one way to find out, though.
Back from the dead.
I have been waiting for this since the beginning of the month. When I was going over my best of 2021 stuff, I said I can't wait to talk the worst, because honestly, that's the most fun. It's more fun to shit on things. I've noticed, anyway. I definitely have more fun when it comes to recording these and editing these and putting this out into the world. It's just fun. It's fun. So before I go forward with my list, which, by the way, is in no particular order, I'm just going to tell you the stuff I didn't like. I didn't even write down how many. There's a lot, but you'll have to wait and see. Before I go further with that, please, in the comments down below, let me know your least favorite movies of 2021. Again, no particular order. As many as you want to list is fine. As we go through the list, if you want to leave multiple comments, feel free. I respond to every comment I get, or at least I try to very hard, because that's part of it. This is a two-way conversation always here on Master Chaos TV. And while you're at it, leave me a thumbs up. And let's get on with the video.
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
I decided to maybe break it up by labels. We'll do it that way, make it easier to digest the content. So let's start real briefly with Severin films. Now, you'll notice when we start this list that I don't have the titles with me. If I'm talking about something that's released on Blu recently or within this past year, I most likely will not have it. Why is that? Because it sucked so fucking bad, I had to get it out of my house before I tore my eyeballs out. Let's start off with Severin films, like I said, and then we're going to go with the box set. We're going to go with the box set first, so we're going to start off big, and I think you know what box set I'm talking about.
What a piece of junk!
If you've been watching long enough and you've been following along with me this year, my least Severin box set of the year is this box of diarrhea right here. This is the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee, and it's stanky, stank awfulness. And I would have found a home for this quickly if it wasn't for the fact that this was a birthday gift from Mistress Chaos, and I feel bad giving it away or selling it at hopefully a substantial profit. This was really bad. How do you have a box set featuring Christopher Lee and the motherfucker's barely in it? He's barely in these movies. I'm not even kidding.
What?
I deep dove balls deep into this entire box set. It was multi-part. I think it was like 6 parts. Episode review on this thing. He's barely in these movies. He's literally has 1 or 2 scenes in most of them. That sucks. There's 6 movies in here. You get 8 Blu-rays, 1 CD plus a book. The movies included are Sherlock Holmes and the Deadly Necklace. Terrible. Probably the worst Sherlock Holmes movie ever made. Crypt of the Vampire is okay. It's okay. Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism is the best one. Challenge of the Devil is the worst one. Such a piece of shit. Castle of the Living Dead is, it's a little slow. And Theater Macabre is a Polish TV show where he appears in the first and last 30 seconds as a little host segment, like kind of a Rod Serling situation. Couple the fact that he's barely in these movies with the fact that the special features barely feature or mention Christopher Lee. And you've got a very strange box set here. This is a very uneven box set. Yeah, beautiful case, hard box. I love the black spines. You get a great book. I believe it's Stephen Thrower, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry, Jonathan Rigby. You get a nice package, but the movies are junk, and I'll never watch them again. And I do not recommend this. This to me really soured the year because I was so looking forward to this. I'm a big Christopher Lee fan, and I found really nothing here to take away any kind of enjoyment, because I knew Torture Chamber Dr. Sadism already. Severin had already released that. I've seen that movie. I have it. I don't need this box set, and neither do you. Next up, a Severin title I don't own, but I have seen. I was there at the premiere, the announcement for the Black Friday titles. This was announced, at least the trailer was. And then I subsequently tracked it down on Tubi. You can find it on Tubi. It's there streaming free. It is the film Ballad in Blood. This is awful. Awful junk. Awful junk. I believe this is Ruggero Deodato's last film. I don't know if he's made another one since then. 2018, I think, is the year this came out. This was junk-ass shit. Terrible, stupid garbage. Loosely based on the Amanda Knox story, which, I'll be honest, I know very little about. I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar with the case, so I don't know how accurate it is. But this is just junk-ass shit. Yeah, tons of nudity in it. Big, healthy boobies. But just the dumbest script, the worst acting, the most piss-poor directing, the worst looking sets. I mean, this is just awful. It's an awful experience, a painful experience. And I feel bad for anybody who bought this on Blu-ray and does not know what they've gotten themselves into. Remember, TBYB, try before you buy. It is the way to live, especially nowadays when movies are so expensive and you cannot really afford to blind buy. And I mean, I know some people who blind buy and they kind of trick themselves into liking it because, fuck, man, I just spent $40 on this mystery fucking movie and I gotta like it. Try before you buy. That's my word of warning to you. Ballad in Blood, don't even try. Don't even try it. This is shit as shit.
Oh my.
Okay, let's switch on over to Vinegar Syndrome and let's talk 2021. Now, in my opinion, Vinegar Syndrome had a rough 2021. I didn't really click with a lot of the titles, and I could list a whole bunch, a gaggle of them that I didn't like. But would I put them on the worst list? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't put them on the worst list, but I do want to highlight a couple that I just thought were so terrible and just did not personally work for me. And if you're wondering what my opinion is, I would say stay the fuck away. Let's start off with the movie that sort of kicked off 2021 and set a bad taste in everybody's mouth, Dark Tower. What a boring ass movie. God damn it. This is the most boring piece of shit ever made. Pointless, plotless, and energyless. Nothing literally happens till the last 10 minutes of the movie. Oh yeah, there's some mysterious people dying in a high-rise, but it's one of those things where they look at the camera and they scream and it cuts away. That's not scary. That's not tension-filled. That's no suspense. I don't know what's going on, so I don't fucking give a shit. Dark Tower is the worst movie Vinegar Syndrome released in 2021, hands down. And I honestly will be hard-pressed to find anybody who liked it. However, if you liked it, fantastic. I am so happy for you. Congratulations. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being cynical. I think that's great. Movies should be absorbed and loved and embraced. And if anybody can find something to like in any movie, that's a fantastic gift to you, the viewer. So fantastic. You made that filmmaker proud. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie. In my opinion, it's a steaming piece of shit. And it's a pointless movie. And it's a waste of your money and your time. Dark Tower, number one. Number one for Vinegar Syndrome, I should say. Number two on the Vinegar Syndrome list. It might be shocking to some, but I really didn't like this movie. Hitcher in the Dark. I thought Hitcher in the Dark was boring as ass. Nothing happens. Here we go. Umberto Lenzi. Ooh, it's a kidnapping rape movie where he kidnaps this girl and he tortures her, and everyone's like, oh man, it's sweaty and sleazy and gross, and it's fucked up. I'm like, okay, well, I don't really like those kind of movies, but I can appreciate that kind of cinema. I'll watch it, obviously with the subscription. I got it, so I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna give it a fair shot, like I say. And this is, I think, a motto for everybody. Go in always on the movie's side. You want the movie to win. You want the movie to be fucking good. Why would you go negative into a movie? You want the art to fucking win you over. So I always go in with a positive attitude. Okay, let's go Hitcher in the Dark. Let's do it. Let's get this girl. What do we got? What's this movie about? And then what we got is the most milquetoast, vanilla, boring, and just plain Jane nothingness of a movie with, in my opinion, I gotta be harsh here, zero brain in its head. What a dumb script. What a stupid dialogue. I mean, Josie Bissett is fine. There is a little bit of nudity. I mean, it isn't necessarily something I would show the kids. There are, some gross, distasteful moments in it, but it never gets to that Umberto Lenzi level. You're like, holy fuck, this thing is crazy, man. It never gets to that level. It's almost like a TV version of an Umberto Lenzi movie with all the good shit cut out, which is bizarre to me. Why would it be so watered down? I find it watered down and disappointing, and I honestly just didn't know what the fucking big deal was. What is everyone talking about? Why is this movie considered like some crazy sleazy fuckfest? Nothing happens in this movie. I'm not a big fan of Hitch in the Dark. That's basically what I'm trying to say here.
Well, duh.
Number 3 on the Vinegar Syndrome hit list is Surf 2. What a piece of junk. What a stupid ass movie. The most unfunny comedy I've ever seen in my life. The most plotless, unfocused movie ever made. Just a waste of so much talent. I could go on and on. I won't bore you. You can go see my review on it. I thought the movie was just so disappointing and so aggravating and so exhaustingly bad. And dumb and nonsensical. And I could go on and on. I know it has its fans. I know people love it. And if you love it, I'm glad. I'm glad you do. Everyone has their own opinions on this movie. Like I always say, opinions are like assholes. There's always a little bit of shit on it. But this movie is just, in my opinion, the weirdest thing Vinegar Syndrome released, because it feels to me so outside the box. I mean, it's close to Pandemonium, Wacko, and things like that. And I don't know how well those performed for them. But Surf 2 feels very outside the box for them. And it hit a niche. I know people liked it. But I would not want to see more of this shit in 2022. I don't want to see any more kind of Surf 2 type movies in 2022, in my humble opinion. I just do not like that movie. I think it doesn't work at all. And should not be seen by human eyes or bovine eyes or any eyes that correspond to any kind of intelligence. Maybe, I don't know, sheep? Sheep could watch it. Sure. Next up on the Vinegar Syndrome hit list, it's a box set. Now, they've had a couple of box sets this year that are, ranging in quality. The one I'm going to mention right now to me is the absolute worst. Worst. And I think you might know where I'm going with this.
It's disgusting.
If you guessed Camille Keaton in Italy, you are correct. Camille Keaton in Italy is awful. Awful. 3 of the dumbest, boring, most lackadaisical movies ever made. Sure, there's nudity, but I can see her naked anywhere, honestly. I'm sure there's a little bit of gore here and there, but not enough. The movies, I'm not going to go into detail on each of them, but the movies are so boring and dull and uninteresting, almost as if the filmmaker doesn't care about the viewer's experience. Whatever, he's just going to tell the story. He tells them, fuck it. If you like it, you like it. Whatever. It's awful. Awful. And I don't recommend it. As a matter of fact, I actively champion that you stay away from that box set or you find the movies to watch somewhere else. I don't know where they're streaming. They might be on YouTube. They might be on Tubi. I don't know. But you don't need that box set. You're really going to be disappointed. Even if you tell me you like giallos, they're not giallos. Even if you tell me you like sleazy Italian movies, you're not going to like these. One of them is more of a drama than anything else. Another one is a ham-fisted, badly plotted, devil-worshipping movie with one good scene. Oh, so bad. What an awful junk-ass shit of a box set. I would even say the Cardona collection is better. 10 times better than Camille Keaton in Italy, which was a big old stinker.
What? No.
Lastly on the Vinegar Syndrome hit list is Tiger Claws. Oh my god, I've already gone into it in depth on my box set review there, but Tiger Claws Trilogy is the shittiest thing I've seen, well, I guess this month. I mean, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So stupid to the point that you will get mad at the movie, just like I did in my review. Not worth your time, not worth your money. Unless you want to buy it, watch it, and then flip it down the line when the VSA goes out of print. You can do that. Make a little money. Like I always say, Vinegar Syndrome is good for investments. So do keep that in mind. Okay, let's roll on over to Arrow Video. Now, Arrow released a lot of good shit in 2021, but they also released a lot of shit in 2021. Now, to be fair, I didn't get everything that Arrow released, and most of the stuff that I did get from Arrow, I loved. And they're in my best of lists. So I'm not going to be very Arrow heavy when it comes to the worst of 2021, but there's 2 titles I want to bring to light, warn you about, and if you've been on the channel, then you know how I feel about these movies. If you're new here, welcome. I'm glad to have you here, and I'm hoping we can keep this conversation going. I'd be honored to continue this friendship. Just make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I would be thrilled. It costs you nothing, but it makes my day to know I've earned your subscription. Okay. Arrow. Let's start off with a single release. This was a slasher that everyone was initially excited about, and then everyone watched it, and they wanted to kill Arrow. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm talking about Death Screams. What a piece of shit. This is a super piece of shit. This is probably one of the worst slasher movies ever made. A disjointed mess where the characters don't even know they're in a slasher movie to the last 10 minutes. And why is that? Oh, because all the killing happens in the last 10 minutes. There's sporadic kills here and there with characters off in the distance that have no impact on the story. Most of the movie is a whole bunch of idiot friends hanging out, going to a fucking fair for way too long, going to like a lake to hang out, going to a cemetery to tell fucking ghost stories, and then finally in the last 10 minutes running into the killer that's killing people. And I've seen the movie twice. I did a Let's Watch, and I watched it, the Blu-ray for review, and I still don't know who the killer is. I'm still confused as when the killer was revealed, literally in the last minute. Wait, who the fuck is that? It doesn't even matter because I was so checked out with this movie. I don't even care. It's a terrible movie. It does not deserve your time. Death Screams sucks. Next up on the Arrow hit list is a box set, one that I was initially very excited about, and once I received it, I dug right in, and boy, it stung. It stung so bad. This is Weird Wisconsin, the Bill Rebane collection, and nothing here is good. You have The Alpha Incident, The Game, Invasion from Inner Earth, Twister's Revenge, Monster A Go-Go, and The Demons of Ludlow. Demons of Ludlow is okay. You also get a documentary called Who is Bill Rebane? This is pretty awful. I mean, this is bottom of the barrel regional shit. And I wish I could report better news, but this to me was just a painful slog to get through. This limited edition version comes with a hardcover book. A little booklet here is hardcover. Comes with a poster as well. And I do not recommend it. This was just shit. Bottom of the barrel regional garbage from probably one of the most boring filmmakers ever. Bill Rebane just I don't know. There's just something about his filmmaking and his writing. I don't think Bill Rebane and I click. And this box set to me is absolutely the worst box set that Arrow put out this year.
It's awful. It's all fucking awful!
Okay, that's it for the boutique Blu-rays, but let's talk recent movie releases to theaters or streaming or whatever. I watched a lot of new stuff this year. You watched a lot of new stuff this year, and we've got to judge them equally, whether they have a subcover or not. Let me kick off with the most recent one, Matrix Resurrections. What a piece of shit. What a waste of a movie. Stupid, pointless movie where it's literally, it's almost like they fucking doubled down on the stuff that everybody hated in the other two sequels. All the talking. Nobody wants the talking. Nobody wants the philosophizing. We want the fucking cool action. And when we get the action, it's not that cool. When you flash back to the action from the first movie, you're like, fuck, how does the action from the original movie look better than the stuff now? It's insane to me. A waste of a movie. Matrix 4 is stupid. Next up from Disney Plus, this was a sequel that nobody wanted, and I did say sequel. I'm talking about Home Sweet Home Alone. What a piece of fucking shit. What a piece of utter garbage. Now, I did say sequel. Now, I initially thought this was a remake. At least that's how it was pitched. That's how it was sort of spelled out when the people talking, Disney was talking about, oh, Home Sweet Home Alone. We're going to remake Home Alone. We're going to make it better. Fuck you. You're not going to make it better, you fucking piece of shit. You can't make it better. So, the movie comes out. The only reason I watched it is because I'm a big Home Alone fan, and so are my kids. Mistress Cass too. We love Home Alone. We grew up on Home Alone. My kids are growing up on Home Alone. They watch it 3 times a year, always on Christmas, but they love that movie. We were all trepidatious to watch it, but we said, let's give it a shot. Let's give the movie a shot. Maybe it's really fun. It's a piece of shit. And I'll tell you right now, it's a sequel, my friend. It absolutely is a sequel. As a matter of fact, it's fucking part 3. Let me tell you how it is. Because they mentioned Kevin McAllister and Buzz is in it. That's right. Buzz McAllister plays a cop. And the actor who played Buzz comes back and he eats a burrito and he gets on his shirt. He's like, oh, I'm a fat guy. Burritos. I don't know how to eat burritos. Fucking stupid. So this is an in-canon sequel to the Kevin McAllister saga. And the same fucking thing happens? What the fuck are you talking about? How does that make any fucking sense? So stupid. But that isn't the most egregious problem with the movie. The main problem is, well, that's not the main problem. I'll tell you what the main problem is in a minute. The one of the main problems, I should say, is the main kid sucks. His name is Max. and he's like this kind of like fucking annoying British kid. Not that being British makes you annoying, but he's just an annoying turd of a little kid, just the worst. You just want him to stop talking forever, throw him down a well or something. So he's awful to spend time with, and you don't want him on screen. He's not a sympathetic character like Kevin McAllister was. Speaking of sympathetic characters, our fucking burglars are the fucking subject of the movie. As a matter of fact, we spend more time with them than we do with our new Kevin. And we sympathize with them. They are not only a married couple, but they're broke. They're about to lose their house. And all they want is to give their kids a nice Christmas. And this little fucknut stole something from their house. And they have to break into his house to get it back because they need it. It's a rare toy item kind of thing. They need it so that they can sell that, sell it on eBay or whatever, and then be able to afford the mortgage for their house so that their family can stay in their house and have a nice Christmas and all that shit. So the movie has allowed us to sympathize with the bad guys and essentially making the hero the bad guy. So now the fucking kid is the villain. He's a fucking asshole. And the burglars are getting their asses beat to shit by this annoying little fucking prick kid. I mean, how am I supposed to have fun with that? How am I supposed to laugh at this grown couple getting their asses beat by a fucking asshole bastard kid? It doesn't work, guys. You fucked it up. Next up, another franchise that shit the bed this year, Spiral. Terrible. Stupid. Terrible. Like, what was that? What the fuck was the point of this? And Chris Rock? Chris Rock is a fan of the Saw franchise? I guess stranger things have happened. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is apparently a giant Sherlock Holmes fan, and he wrote a Sherlock Holmes book.
Total fucking bullshit.
Last but not least, I'm gonna throw up a couple of Nicolas Cage films here at the end. These I'm just gonna sandwich them together to not take up any more of your time, because they're both equally bad and they're both equally a waste of your time. So why would I want to continue wasting your time by going into detail on both of them? So here you go. Let's start with the first one. Willys Wonderland. Stupid, unfunny, dumb, doesn't make any sense. I mean, even in a magical realism's kind of concept of possessed, Chuck E. Cheese type things like a Five Nights at Freddy's, this is just a poorly conceived, poorly made movie. We don't, and speaking of backstory, we don't get the backstory that is needed to really piece this together. We don't get any kind of puzzle piece elements. We're like, oh, this is why this happened. Oh, this is why this character's acting this way. There's so many questions in the beginning, and we're left with even more questions at the end, and it is just an excuse to have a mute Nicolas Cage punch mascots. If that's fucking rings your bell, then great. Maybe this movie was for you. But I thought this was one of the biggest disappointments of the year, because I was expecting this to be quite a bit of fun, and it was just a major fucking bummer. If you want a better movie than this, I suggest the Banana Splits movie. I think that was really great. I think the Banana Splits movie was really enjoyable. It actually used the concept in a rewarding and satisfying way. I think that's a way better movie.
You're goddamn right.
Now, the second Nicolas Cage movie I want to highlight here is one that, I'm assuming they paid him very well for. It just didn't make any sense to me, and maybe that was the point. But I don't think a movie should be made to just be nonsensical shit. I'm talking about the film Prisoner of the Ghostlands, or Prisoners of the Ghostlands, whatever the hell it's called. Complete, utter junk shit. So bad, so boring, so pointless. Tons of style. You got Bill Moseley in it. You got Tak Sakaguchi in it from Versus. Lots of stuff to like in it. Lots of stuff to like. You got, I'm blanking on her name, but the girl who played the mummy in the Tom Cruise movie, she's great. Nicolas Cage is good in it. He's, for the most part, he plays an interesting character. You got a really interesting mix. Escape from New York, Mad Max, kind of a little bit of a Big Trouble in Little China kind of feel to it. But it's all set in this ugly post-apocalyptic desert. The main problem is there's no fucking story.
What you talking about?
And ultimately, this whole list, this whole worst stuff, is not so much that they're shitty movies, well they are, but that they're disappointments to me, that they were the biggest disappointments of the year. And Prisoners of the Ghostland fits right in there with that definition. Okay, Tickle Biddies, that's it. That's my worst of list for 2021. Like I said, let me know yours down in the comments down below. I'm so honored to have spent so much time with you talking movies this year, going on into 2022. And we're going to go bigger. We're going to go better. I've got some big announcements to drop. And I'm not going to go daily again. I just don't have the time or the bandwidth for it. But I'll be fairly daily. There's a lot of content coming, especially in January. So I hope you'll stick around, my friend. I would consider that a great treat. Do me a favor, subscribe. It's free. It makes my day. And maybe you'll get some enjoyment out of it with some future content. Drop me a thumbs up on your way out the door. I love you very much. I mean that. I love you just the way you are. Take care of yourselves. I promise you it's going to get better. Hang in there. But for now, signing off. Until we meet again.